And if you haven't tried Red Crawl.
All right, everybody, YouTube gang, we are here today on the Black Beauty, not the Rev 1 today, because today's video's topic is, can a 48 volt e-bike carry a heavier rider? So we're going to answer that question today, right now. I'm about 212 pounds, 6'2", not the smallest person. So I feel like today's subject is going to be something that a lot of heavier riders may have wondered about or are going to wonder about when they're interested in an e-bike. How much power do you need? For those who are beginners to e-bikes, the voltage of your bike is going to be how powerful your bike is. You can have a 36 volt battery, you can have a 48 volt battery. The Rev 1 comes stock with a 52 volt battery, which I like for a heavier rider such as myself. But with the higher voltages come higher price tags. So with that being said, if you want to stay in the 48 volt price range, maybe you're getting your first e-bike, you want to see if it's for you, and you're a heavier rider, you probably want to know, will you be okay with a 48 volt bike? Or should you save up a little more and get a higher voltage bike? So, we are on the Black Beauty right now. And this is 750 watt rear hub motor. And as you can see, we're doing 30 right now. I am throttling. Right now I am in pedal assist 3, but hammering down on the throttle, I'm coasting at 29, 30 miles an hour. Now the thing that I'll say right away that I notice is the lack of torque. When I get on this bike, the bike knows I'm a heavier rider off the jump. It is not a rocket ship start, but the horsepower kicks in and you will get up to speed. And some people, especially a lot of people new to the e-bike world, will probably like that. Sometimes torque is scary for people because a lot of reasons. For one, whiskey throttling, especially with leather gloves like this, sometimes just resting your hand or your palm on here can result in you pulling that half twist or full twist throttle, and that torque's going to kick in and you're going to launch that bike. And if for anybody who's ever sent their bike before, looping a bike is not fun. Not at all. Oh yeah, we beat this train here. Hell yeah. Woo-hoo, baby. Alright, so that's one reason that heavy front end torque is not appreciated by some. For others, they just don't like that feeling of the wheel wants to spin out or the front wheel feels like it's going to lift up. Now, the Rev 1 doesn't really have that problem at 52 volts, but when you start getting into the Surons, those 60 volts, depending on your weight, We're gonna go ahead and move up to pedal assist 5 now. Let's see what I can do. Now this bike has some pretty long cranks. This is a good bike for pedaling. For those of you who follow the channel, you've probably never seen me pedal before. Yes, I can ride a bicycle. We're gonna take this thing into town and we're just gonna see how I fare as a heavier guy on this bike. This is the first e-bike that I purchased. So, because of being known for having the Rev 1, I just wanted to let people know that if you are a heavier rider and you are at entry level, that maybe you should consider starting at 48 volts. So the thing that's going to help your voltage is going to be your motor size. It can be as small as 250 watts, and you can get up to those 5,000 watt hub motors like we're going to be putting in the Rev 1 for the 72 volt build. So that is what I'm going to say is the important part. Now, for those of you who haven't tuned in, or for those of you who have looked at what are e-bike laws in your area, check that video out, because depending on where you are, I haven't found a place yet that allows more than 750 volts. But that was a pretty slow start after that light. I'm missing that Rev 1 torque. It's not a deal breaker though. We're going. We were already up to 26, 27 down this stretch, so man, this bike needs a tune-up. These brakes are squeaky. Alright, so on this particular model, this is the Be Cool Pathfinder, I can throttle and pedal at the same time, and that actually gives me a little more torque. Now what I'm going to say is all e-bikes don't do that. Some of them, the throttles don't go more than 20 miles an hour, so just keep that in mind also when you're shopping. But so far so good. We're running into town, and I don't feel uncomfortable yet. The most uncomfortability I've had was trying to launch from that light. But now that I've seen that I can throttle and pedal from the start to kind of give me a little extra oomph, we're liking it. So back to the motor size. This is a 750 watt rear hub motor. It's nice and quiet too. It doesn't scream like the Rev 1. Road work. Alright. Yeah, so I'm going to say I think that a 48 volt bike is okay, as long as you have the appropriate motor size. If this were a 250 watt motor, I don't think I'd be able to do anything at all with this bike. 500 watt motor, it would probably be functionable. I could get to where I'm going, but I would be pretty irritated all the time. This is a nice sweet spot at 750 watts. I feel like I can get to where I'm going. Let's go ahead and get that pedal throttle start here. There we go. We're at 20. Yeah, baby. All right. Yeah, so at 750 watts, I'm okay on this bike. And while I'm doing the 72 volt build on the Rev 1, I'll probably be riding this and maybe one of the other bikes for a little while that thing is partially disassembled. It's for exciting reasons though. The Rev 1 is going to be pretty badass at the end of that build. But right now, this experiment is going well. I haven't rode this bike in a very long time. For any of you viewers out here that have a Rev 1, you understand why. Once I got that bike, I could not get off of it. Nice old Mustang Classic here. All right, let's see with my big heavy self before we get to this red light what I can top end this thing out. All right, we're already ghost pedaling at around 25, 26. I'm at 29.6 and doesn't seem like it wants to go any faster. Oh, we had 30 there for a second. So this keeps me at the top end of what's legal. 28 miles an hour I'm able to get this bike up to and hold it. As you can see, I'm holding 28. Pedal assist 5. Minimal effort. This is a cadence sensor on this bike. For those of you new to e-bikes, I have a video coming on the difference between a cadence sensor and a torque sensor. And I'm going to take a couple bikes out. Maybe I'll take this one out with this cadence sensor, then I'll compare it to a torque sensor bike so you can see the difference, the advantages and the disadvantages of both. But right now I'm liking the success of this test. I didn't know how I was going to feel on this bike after it being so long since I've been on it. One thing I will note is that it is super smooth to ride. These knobby tires are a lot stickier. The geometry and ergonomics of this bike are very different from the Rev 1, being that scrambler moped style. But after about 5 or 10, you quickly get used to that. Let's try not to lose our phone here. All right, let's see how long it takes to get up to speed on this very slight incline. This is all throttle. For those who do not want to pedal, this is what it will be like if you do not pedal on one of these bikes. And if you're around my weight, 210 pounds, I am up to speed, 28 miles an hour, 29. Don't have the torque of the Rev 1, but as you can see, we get up to speed. So the short answer to the question after being out here, can a heavier rider be okay on a 750 watt bike? The answer is yes. The short answer is yes. The more complex answer is know your specs first. Make sure you know the specs of your bike. All of these bikes are not built the same. You want to know the voltage. You want to know your range. This is a 20 amp hour bike just like the Rev 1. And at 48 volts, that's going to be drawing less power. You're going to get more range out of this bike than the Rev 1 because it's drawing lower voltage. Nice clear day out here. Look at that. You can see the mountains. Shout out, thoughts and prayers to those down south dealing with the hurricanes right now. It seems like it's a pretty serious one that just hit Florida today. Hoping everybody's doing all right down there. Hope you found safe shelter, minimal property damage. It's a terrible thing. So yes. And I'm not going to say you have to have a 750 volt. I have not tried a 500 watt e-bike. I don't think I would ever want something that small. But let me know in the comments below if you want to see me on a 500 watt bike. And we can see what that would be like at my size. You got questions, everybody? We got answers. This is Manny Reed TV. We don't just entertain you, we also give you informative information. Hello. All right, we are heading towards these mountains here. As we get down towards these mountains, I'm remembering the things that I liked about this bike when I had it. Well, I still have it. I mean, when I rode it. I think I should go ahead and do a review on this bike. Anybody who wants to see that, let me know. Go ahead and hit the comments. Do you want to see me on a 500 watt bike? Do you want to see me... Do you want to see a review of this bike? Anybody interested in this? This has been a success, and I hope anybody with that question has the answer they need now for their shopping experience. If you're gonna get an e-bike and you are a heavier person, my recommendation is find an e-bike shop in your area. I haven't found an e-bike shop yet that will not let you test ride the bikes. That is my biggest advice to you, is to go ahead and test ride a bunch of bikes, not just for the power, but just see what style is for you. This is not riding like riding a normal pedal bike. You're going to get some miles in on this thing before you know it. It's going to be very, very normal to put in 15, 20 miles in a session. So when you're sitting down for those kind of miles, it's important that it feels good to you. It needs to feel comfortable for your hands, for your posture, for your buttocks. You know what I'm saying, everybody? So keep those things in mind. If you can test ride some bikes, that's my biggest advice. Let's go ahead and get on some bikes. Any questions or comments, leave them below. We're also going to have a drawing today for the e-bike alarm winner. We have finally reached 100 subscribers. Thank you very much, everybody, for those who've been watching these videos, helping to build the channel, supporting it, subscribing, and now somebody is going to have security for their bike. At the end of today, I'm going to say around 7 o'clock today, that drawing video should be out, and I'm probably going to post this at the same time. So we're going to get a twofer today. But thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. We've got more stuff coming for you. And stay tuned for the 72 volt Rev 1 build. We love you. Be safe. Ride safe. If you haven't been out on your e-bike today, do not forget to get out and put a smile on your face. We love y'all.